Hi everybody. Hello crew. Yeah, okay, let's get into the nitty-gritty of this. So, main reason why there is not an April bullet journal setup, there was a cascade of events. So let's talk about this. In March, I made what was almost a last-minute trip to attempt to help someone, and it didn't work out. The first part of the trip was a categorical train wreck. The second part of the trip, despite the fact it was very last minute, to seeing friends in Dallas, was absolutely fantastic and completely salvaged the trip as far as I'm concerned. I got to see the library that my short story that was published in the Haunted Library Anthology for the Tim Burnett Library. I got to see that library. Picture here. Yes, that's me in a bright blue drug rug. I have told my husband that I'm going to be getting at least one more drug rug because I love these things. I get a lot more variety. I get a lot more color. They're cheaper than hoodies. And if I want it to be as warm, if not warmer and cozier than a hoodie, I can just wear a fleece layer underneath. Absolutely love these absolutely love those ridiculous things. But needless to say that I did need to see what was going on in that situation, that I went to go try to help. And, you know, if nothing else, I did walk away with the lesson of we live in spite of life. And that has been very loud in my head for the last few weeks. When I got back, less than 24 hours later, I got sick. Bad sick. Like, just feeding the chickens, which is nothing more than rinsing grain, taking the grain that I need for that day that has sprouted for the chicken feed, adding oyster shell, DE, corn, and pellet food to their food. It's just scooping food and then portioning out the food. For a good couple of weeks there, that was leaving me having to stop a couple times through that process, which is only like an 8-minute job, became a 15-minute job because I was having to stop and rest so much. That was rotten. And I know you guys can probably hear it. I'm still sick. It's trying to get down here. So when I went to set up my April bullet journal, I was exhausted. I was having to stop and rest. It took me 9 hours to set it up. So it's a good thing I didn't try to take you guys along for that. I will flip through and show you guys what it looks like. And we're also going to flip through my reading journal for the, how I've got it set up for second quarter. Very simple, you know. If there's one thing I'm always going to be an advocate for, that is if you feel like you need to simplify your journal and all you really want to do for your reading journal is just slap a cover page in so that you know where one month began and the other one ended, do that. You know, I'm all for making things granular if you want to experiment with it for 1 month, but and my poor husband is getting whatever it is I had, the crud that I had. Normally he sleeps in even down into the 40s with just a sheet. He was under 2 blankets last night, so I might have to make a pot of nuclear chicken soup. And for those of you wondering what makes nuclear chicken soup different from regular homemade chicken noodle soup, I tend to throw spicy peppers into my chicken noodle soup because capsaicin, artificially raising your body temperature, helps your immune system out. I swear by this. I swear by it. But yeah, oh, and then the computer speaker that I had decided that it was going to fry. What the heck? These are all, you know, little things back to back to back to back, but it's just like, Oh, and because of being sick, it took me like 2 weeks to do spring washing. Yay. But, all right. So let me show you guys something real quick, because if you've been on my channel for any length of time, you guys know that you don't get to see inside of my long-term, my long-form journals. But with everything that happened in March, despite the fact I probably could have fit half of April into the lined Typhossi, I needed fresh, I needed new, I needed to bring the energy, embrace the loveliness that is something new and crisp, and yeah. I fit the entire first quarter in that lined Typhossi, even after junking up the pages. And so lined Typhossi journals, they get a 4.5 out of 5 from me. I would absolutely love it if the lined Typhossis came with like a band to help them closed. That would be great. But recognize this beauty? This is going to be my long form journal for second quarter and quite possibly even into third. But the more I was handling this journal, this particular notebook from Urcher and Olive, from that one sub box, and they did bring this one back for a while, but I think it's currently it's sold out on the site, unfortunately, I think. However, they might bring it back again, because I know the response to this one was incredibly positive. I am loving the ribbon tie on this, because I know this poor thing is going to go from being this to probably that. Because I junk my journals up pretty hard for my long form. But yeah, I'm going to be working on this for that. I am finding that I appreciate the B5 size a lot. So, but, I'm only 8 minutes into this and I'm already feeling tired. That's not good. But, you know, I am going to try to get this video out today. All right, so, well, there was another journal that I added to my rotation that I wanted to show you guys real quick. And that's this beautiful teal color here, or a robin egg. This was actually a part of a 5-pack of journals from Did you guys not leave something? It's just a really basic dot grid. It was like 5 of them for $33 off of Amazon. And these are more for when I know that I don't want to put I don't want to use an Archer and Olive or a Typhossi for the project. The black one that was in that pack, I gave to my husband to use with this EMT class. Yeah, he's taking an EMT class. He has had no time. So every single project that I was going to work on here in the homestead got brought to a screeching damn halt. Frustrating to say the least. But now this is more a... my brain just dumped the cash. Oh, okay. Give me a second. I'm going to take a sip of coffee, okay? All right. Oh, and it's allergy season too, on top of being sick. Little itty bitty things. This is actually my tarot journal. Usually I would put my card workings in my magical journal, but I saw a great point in an article a while back that having your card reading stuff, your card workings in a different notebook, so that it's easier to look at overarching themes, things that keep coming up in readings. It's a lot easier paging through a notebook dedicated to that than it is to go through a magical journal, which has like 40 different things between each reading. So, and it's just a really simple, hold on. My hands cooperate, please. It's got an index in the front, which is absolutely wonderful to have when you're cataloging readings. But it's just a simple, I have a cover page at the beginning of each month. I write down which deck I use, and I just decorate the pages as I need them. April is, beginning of second quarter for us here on the homestead, and it's very much, I'm having to reconnect to my home after the first part of that rotten trip. That part of the trip was rotten. Second part of the trip was not. But I spent, unfortunately, 2 nights in an airport, in different airports, because that was the only way that I could get an affordable flight to where I needed to get to. So that was a little rotten. And so it was not really any surprise that my immune system went. Okay, let me get you guys, the next video is going to be top down. We're going to be hopping into the reading journal, and I'm going to show you guys the bullet journal. And I'll give you guys a really quick glimpse, actually, of the travel journal. Yes, I used the travel size journal for traveling. I get it now. But, so I needed something on the trip that I could keep track of what I needed to keep track of, and document stuff. So this little baby has at least 2 more trips in her. Maybe 1, depending on what the next trip is. I am very hopeful, however, I still haven't done my finished my memory keeping in this. I am very hopeful that my next trip is going to be actually to see my parents, who I've not seen since 2019. So, let's get this. Okay, how are we looking? There we go. All right, so here's the reading journal. Now, like I said, I kept it pretty simple. I just had so little energy. But here we go. Your cover page. Now this year I'm setting up for quarterly, just because quarterly just feels like it makes more sense. Kept it simple. So we've got the beginning of second quarter, books I'd like to read in second quarter, books that I actually finished. Then April reading report, May reading report, June reading report in my first page. I just had a couple decorated. And on the pages where I am actually talking about the book I'm reading about, there's just title, by, started on, finished, pages, and rating. So, very simple. But let me show you guys let's look through first quarter real quick. I do apologize for my lighting. I'm just trying to get this video done, guys. But as you can see, I had 4 books, and then books I actually finished, like there was actually one more that was not over here. And then we've got my January reading report. We've got February, which ended up being February was not great. Neither was March. March was not a great reading time. So we've got that book there. Now, believe it or not, one of the books that I actually read was Journaling, the Ultimate Self-Improvement. And despite the fact that I journal a lot, it's still a good idea, I feel, to, occasionally pick up a book or two about, journaling, just because you might learn something new. And I did. I got reminded of a couple types of journaling that I had forgotten about. So this was a page I had set up ready to go, and then I completely forgot that I had that page ready to go, and I started a new page on the next one. This was a DNF, Skipping Christmas by John Grisham. Do not get me wrong, John Grisham is a very good writer. I just didn't like the story. I gave it the 2-chapter chance, and yeah, it was a DNF. Now this one I do have to go back and finish because I started it in March. That is this. This is actually, as somebody who enjoys psychology every now and again, this is actually a wonderful breakdown. And especially considering that, let's be honest, when it comes to understanding humans, the field is dominated towards women. So to have a male-leaning book was a very nice balancing, okay? There is such thing as going too far in one direction. And this is a nice, come on, keep it balanced, let's keep it balanced and nuanced here. So I haven't finished that one yet, but that's just because I started reading it during the trip, and I haven't really wanted to pick it back up yet. And I don't like reading when I'm sick, so hopefully I'll be finishing that here soon, but I do have pages for it. And that is my reading journal, and I will be right back. Apologies, like I said, I'm sick, allergies are kicking in, so I had to blow my nose, and it's much easier just to pause my recording device than to try to go in and edit that out. All right, let's get into April. So I just did something really silly with April. This is a tissue paper that I had come in a package years ago, and I was like, I want to just go ahead and use it. We're just going to do something silly for a cover page because I wanted to do a cover page. In April, I knew that I needed to change things up a little bit with how I was doing my dashboard. Because don't get me wrong, I appreciate a calendar spread, traditional calendar spread, as much as the next person. However, I wanted to play with the dashboard a little bit. So we've got, egg total box, we've got a mini calendar, appointment, don't forget. And then this right here is my calendar. This is where I'm keeping track of eggs, of things of note, the full moon, paydays, anniversaries, whatnot. My hobbies got a full page this time, just because my husband's page needed my husband's list that I keep track of stuff for him. That got a full page this month. So we are back to a double-decker habit tracker along with my sleep tracker, and I still haven't filled anything in for today, today being April 4th. I haven't filled anything in yet. I need to fill in my sleep tracker, and then I gotta do, actually it's April 5th, isn't it? Today's April 5th at the time I'm filming. Yeah, I haven't filled that in. We've got my monthly tidy list and my weekly chores over here. By the way, these are all stickers from the wildflower sticker sticker pack from Agenda 52, the paper studio, and I'm leaning into the color green. It is not greening up yet here in the high Sonoran Desert, which is probably why I opted for green. We've got my Rebellion checklist. We have the weather tracker. And then here's my husband's thing. The weekly reset checklist has a couple of things added onto it to help maintain the homestead. We've got my reading retreat day, which I'm probably going to try to dedicate at least a couple of hours every weekend to reading. That's probably not going to happen this weekend because like I said, I don't like to read when I'm sick. We've got homestead and garden. This is where the build checklist is now. This is where everything else is. Everything that I need to buy for the homestead or the garden, like the cost of that will get tallied over here, miscellaneous things. One line a day. In an A5, I have found I need to make a double page. When I was in the B5, I didn't need 2 pages for 1 line a day, but I do in an A5. We've got my leftover tracker. We've got my diet tracker. The diet tracker is still proving of value, so I'm definitely going to be keeping it through second quarter. And then we've got a new page, and you guys will note that things like my journal prompts, that's no longer in my monthly bullet journal setup because I'm finding I don't need it. So that's gone. This is my writing goals and etc. page. You see, I decided to give it its own page. That way I could have writing goals and then a list of, hey, I managed to get to this amount, and so I'm treating myself to thing XYZ. So this is a new page that I absolutely love having, and I didn't get anything done on Friday because unfortunately the tablet keyboard that I got had keys on it that would just randomly stop working, and no matter what I did, I couldn't get them to work. And then it was just like, all right, I'm not going to waste time on this. We're just going to go ahead and exchange this. So if the second keyboard has the same damn issue, ooh, I'm going to be leaving one of my rare negative reviews and getting a different one, because having the tablet keyboard was actually quite nice, because sometimes my muse will be like, nope, we need to write. Pen and paper, bitch, now. So I will end up staying up writing, and with the arthritis that I have in this hand and arm, you can guess how limiting that is, because I can type faster than I can write. So, and this over here is the start of April. And we did not have any April Fool's shenanigans. Both my husband and I were just too tired. My dogs are barking at something. What are you barking at? That's one of the problems. One of the things that's probably not a good thing about having a window that faces what I need it to face when I'm trying to record videos in the studio, because most of my day is in the studio, so I need to be able to see the front yard and see if anybody's coming down the driveway, and it tends to be a little disruptive when I'm trying to do videos. I do apologize if you guys can hear the space here in the background, but it's cold. Here's today. And as you can see, I haven't done anything on this list except for make lunch for my husband. Because today is the all-day class for EMTs. So I got that done. Yay! And just... So having a task list at the beginning of each week, I have found to be actually incredibly useful. Stop with the... There you go. Don't. Bad camera. I have found having a task list at the beginning of each week to be incredibly useful. There it goes again. Stop it. I will throw you across the room. And then I've got a page here for anything that I need to add or leave out in May. End of the month review for what I need in the bullet journal has become a little bit of a thing. Not a big thing, but a little bit. And then this is going to be my May cover page. And as you can see, in May, I'm going to go back to a calendar spread. But the boxes are bigger. So that's my bullet journal. And here's the travel journal. So I actually had to, you guys will see the video jump, because I forgot that on the first page of this was some very private information that you guys didn't need to see. So, for my travel journal needs, it was pretty basic. Like, I've got the little mini calendar here, and then each day had a bit of dossier slash itinerary stuff. Weather tracker. Don't forget to remind my husband page. I've got things I was going to warn my friend of. That didn't work out. This is my sleep tracker, and oh boy. Expenses tracker. Yeah, it's just food. What the fuck? Who cares? My diet tracker. My summarize the day. My habit tracker. And then we have my packing list. And everything else is just journaling and scene list. This was the only souvenir that I got in Florida. And I got that at the Tampa shop. Because I got to see dolphins in the wild. But, yeah. And all of this stuff inside the box is actually just story elements that I fictionalized several things in that happened, and if I need them as a story element in one of my stories I'm writing, then I will use it. I went ahead and got a sticker from the Denver airport. I had to overnight in the Denver airport to get a flight home, and because any other flight that I could have gotten was going to be $200 more. So, in order not to break the bank, a woman spent the night in the airport. And my back, oh my gods of old knew when to be, my back screamed. So, when I got home, I actually went from the airport to a library that was not that far away and plopped down and read a lot, and then wrote more stuff that I could use in a story if I wanted to. And here are some of the pictures. And then, like, tickets and stickers and whatnot got kept back here. And that's my travel journal. And as you can see, I've got it ready to go, at least on the first page, for the next trip that I might find myself taking. Which, like I said, I hope is to see my parents. But there we go, you guys. That is my second quarter journal catch-up. Hold on. I almost need to take a nap after filming the video. Well, when I say I got knocked on my ass by getting sick, I mean it. Yeah, there you guys go. That's our journal catch-up, our second quarter start. And that's what all's been going on. I know. Oh, so exciting. But yeah, so tired. So today is getting this video uploaded. And then, because I've got like 5 or 6 things that I need that are little itty bitty things. They're not going to take that long to do. But I don't want to do them. I don't want to curl up underneath of a blanket and fidge. Such is the life of a homesteader. As much as I want to just go back to sleep, I can't. We live in spite of life, my dears. And I think I'm going to make that a permanent part of my outro from now on. Before we go, I want to show you guys something. As part of my sick vegging, I am practicing increasing knitting stitches. You guys have to remember, I'm self-taught completely when it comes to knitting, for the most part. But, yeah. This is what I've been working on while watching Among Us and Minecraft videos. Alright. It's time to get this video onto the interwebs. Hug your loved ones tight. Take care of yourself, okay? And remember that we live in spite of life. I will catch you guys in the next video, whatever it ends up being, okay? Bye.